Hello everyone, my name is Urvisha Patel, working as an assistant professor in Computer Engineering Department at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Today we are going to learn Unit number 2 JDBC Programming of subject Advanced Java Programming. Outlines are JDBC driver types, comparison between JDBC drivers, which driver should be used, JDBC with different RDBMS. There are four types of JDBC drivers. Type 1 JDBC ODBC bridge driver. Type 2 native API partly Java driver. Type 3 JDBC net pure Java driver. And type 4 native protocol pure Java driver. Let's continue with type 1. JDBC ODBC bridge driver depends on support for ODBC. This driver is not portable. JDBC ODBC bridge driver translate JDBC calls into ODBC calls and use Windows ODBC built-in drivers. If we want to use this driver, ODBC must be set up on every client machine. For server-side application or servlet, ODBC must be set up on web server driver. This is the diagram of JDBC ODBC bridge driver. This is your local computer and this is your database server. Local computer contains Java application in which you have application code and type 1 driver. Here you have ODBC driver which is connected with JDBC ODBC bridge driver. And ODBC driver is connected with local DBMS using database vendor driver. For the connection, here vendor specific protocol is available. Advantages of JDBC driver type 1, that is JDBC ODBC bridge. This allows to communicate with all database supported by ODBC driver. And this driver is vendor independent driver. Disadvantages of JDBC driver type 1. Due to large number of translation, its execution speed is decreased. This driver depends on the ODBC driver. This driver provides JDBC access via most ODBC drivers. It uses Java native interface to make ODBC call. Because of this all disadvantage, this driver is not used in production environment. It can only be used when database doesn't have any other JDBC driver implementation. Type 2 driver, native API partly Java driver. This second category driver converts JDBC calls into calls on client API for different type of databases like Oracle, SysDB, etc. This driver provided by database vendors and used in the same manner as JDBC ODBC bridge. Here native code driver are usually written in C, C++. For type 2 driver, vendor specific driver must be installed on each client machine. This driver is used with server side application. Diagram of type 2 driver. Here ODBC driver is not available. Your application code is connected with type 2 native API driver and local DBMS is connected with DB vendor driver and communicate with Java application. Local computer is connected with database server through vendor specific protocol. Advantages of type 2 driver. As there is no implementation of JDBC ODBC bridge, as we seen in the diagram, it may be considerably faster than a type 1 driver. Disadvantages of type 2 driver. On client machine, the vendor client library needs to be installed. This driver is platform dependent. This driver supports all Java applications except applets. Applet is also one type of application, but type 2 driver does not support applet. It may increase cost of applications if it needs to run on different platform. If it needs to run on different platform, we need to buy the native libraries for all the platforms. So it may increase cost of application. Type 3 driver, JDBC Net Pure Java driver. As its name suggests, it is a pure Java driver. Type 3 driver depends on middleware server. Here middleware server is available, so it is 3-tier architecture. In 3-tier architecture, your Java application is connected with database server using middleware. This can interface to multiple databases. It follows a 3-tier communication approach, means 3-tier architecture. The JDBC clients use standard network socket to communicate with a middleware application server. And this information is translated by middleware application server into the call format required by DBMS. This driver translates JDBC call into a DBMS independent net protocol, which translates to a DBMS protocol by a server. This driver is extremely flexible since it requires no code install on the client, and a single driver can actually provide access to multiple databases. Here no need to install code on the client. Diagrams of type 3 driver. Local computer include Java application. In Java application, application code and type 3 driver is available. Here middleware server is there because type 3 driver supports 3-tier architecture. Different drivers are available and middleware server is connected with database server. This driver support indirect connection because your application is not directly connected with database server. Middleware server is available. Advantages of type 3 driver. The communication between client and middleware server is database independent. So there is no need for database vendor library on client side. A single driver can handle any database provided the middleware supports it. We can also switch from one database to other database without changing client-side driver class. We only need to change configurations of middleware server. Disadvantages of type 3 driver. Compared to type 2 driver, type 3 drivers are slow due to increased number of network calls. It requires database specific coding to be done in the middle tier. You can use different type of RDBMS. So according to the database, you need to code middle tier. The middle layer added may result in additional latency. But if you use better middleware service, this disadvantages will overcome. Type 4 native protocol pure Java driver. This driver is known as direct to database pure Java driver. It need to download a new driver for each database engine. Example Oracle, MySQL, etc. Type 4 driver, a pure Java based driver, communicates directly with the vendor's database through socket connection. This driver is extremely flexible. You don't need to install special software on the client or server. These drivers are implemented by DBMS vendors. Diagram of type 4 driver. Here type 4 driver is directly connected with database management system. Advantages: completely implemented in Java. So it is platform independent. No native libraries are required to be installed on client machine. This driver don't translate the request into an intermediary format such as ODBC. It is secure to use since it uses database server specific protocol. Client application is directly connected with database server, means this driver use direct connection 2-tier architecture. No translation or middleware layer are used to improve the performance. And JVM, Java Virtual Machine, manages all the aspects of the application to database connection. These advantages of driver 4. This driver uses database specific protocol and it is DBMS vendor dependent. JDBC drivers classified according to the installation. First is thin driver and second one is thick driver. You can connect to a database without the client installed on your machine. Means here client installation is not compulsory. And second, type 4 driver is thin driver. Thick driver, thick client would need the client installation. And type 1 and type 2 drivers will need the client installation. These categories are according to client installation. Comparison between JDBC drivers. Here total 4 types of drivers are available as a column name, and here different types of categories. First is name, first is JDBC ODBC, native API, JDBC net and native protocol. Only type 2 driver and type 4 drivers are vendor specific drivers. Second one is portable. Type 3 and 4 drivers are portable. 1 and 2 drivers are not portable. Pure Java driver. As I said, type 3 and 4 are portable, means type 3 and 4 are portable driver and pure Java drivers. Working of type 1 driver. Type 1 driver convert JDBC call into ODBC call and then it convert ODBC call into native call. Type 2 driver convert JDBC call into native specific call. Type 3 driver, it convert JDBC call into middleware specific call and middleware convert this call into native call. Only type 3 driver has 3-tier architecture. Type 4 driver convert JDBC call into database specific call. Multiple DB. Type 1 and type 3 driver support multiple DB. Type 2 and 4 driver do not support multiple DB. Example of type 1 driver is MS Access. Type 2 drivers example is Oracle OCI driver. IDA server is type 3 driver. MySQL, Sys database, IBM are type 4 drivers. Execution speed. Type 1 driver is slowest among all and type 4 driver is fastest among all. Type 2 driver is faster compared to type 1 and type 3 driver is slower compared to type. Here type 1 and 2 are thick driver and type 3 and 4 are example of thin driver. Which driver should be used? If you are accessing one type of database such as MySQL, Oracle, Sys database or IBM etc., the preferred driver type is 4. If you are accessing one type of database. If your Java application is accessing multiple type of databases at the same time, then type 3 is the preferred driver. Multiple type of databases at the same time. Type 2 driver are useful where type 3 or type 4 driver is not available yet for your database. And type 1 driver is not considered a deployment level driver and is typically used for development and testing purpose only. So first is, if you are using one type of database, then type 4 driver is used. If your application is accessing multiple type of databases at the same time, then type 3 driver is the preferred driver. If a type 3 and type 4 drivers is not available for your database, then type 2 driver are useful. Type 1 driver is not considered a deployment level driver. It is only used for development and testing. JDBC with different relational database management system. Here different format according to the driver used. Here JDBC driver class format and URL pattern to access the database. If you are using MySQL, the driver class you need to upload is com.mysql.jdbc.driver and URL pattern is jdbc:/mysql:/hostname and database name. This is the pattern you need to pass for the connection. And this driver we are using for loading. For DB2, Oracle, Sys database, SQLite, SQL Server, respective format is available to load the driver class and to access the database. If you want to do connection with Microsoft Access, then sun.jdbc.odbc.jdbc driver is available, and using this pattern jdbc:/odbc:/data source name, you can connect with your data source. Microsoft Access driver are already available in JDK. If you want to use another database like MySQL, Oracle, SQL Server, then you need to download the drivers. These are the important questions related to JDBC drivers. Thank you.